was awesome.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about my top 10 coasters at Six Flags America. Well, actually top 8 because there's only 8 coasters there. Well, I'm not including the kiddie coaster. So actually 9, but really 8 in my opinion. Anyways, let's get on to the video. Number 8, I have Roar. This is a terrible ride. Do not ride it. Unless you're getting the credit. Otherwise, don't ride it. I don't know why I keep riding it, but I do. It literally starts to shake going up the lift hill. Like the cars kind of like sway side to side going up the lift hill. It's crazy. And the whole layout's just rough, and the coaster just kind of grinds through it. It's not enjoyable. There's no airtime or laterals or anything. The coaster doesn't do anything for you except give you pain. So yeah, that's why it's number 8. And number 7, we have Mind Eraser. This ride sucks. However, I feel like it's been getting better over time. I don't really know how that's happening, but the rides I've had more recently haven't been as bad. Again, this coaster shakes a lot. The restraints are terrible. You get a lot of headbanging. I kind of like the layout of Vekoma SLCs, but they also still suck. And I don't know, it's really the restraints that hurt. If you can like position your head correctly, you might get a decent ride, and that's why I said it's kind of like sucked less recently. But overall, again, just not a good ride. The cars, at least at Six Flags America, like they're falling apart. Like you can see them shaking and vibrating all over the place. Yeah, so just not a great experience. Number 6, we have Firehawk. Firehawk used to be Apocalypse, which was a stand-up coaster, but now it is a sit-down flowless coaster built by B&M. And I never rode it as Apocalypse, but as Firehawk, I can say it's still not a great ride. You still get a lot of headbanging. And while it's not that terrible of a ride experience, I still don't like it. My ears really hurt last time I rode it, but that was also because of the cold. Especially going through that corkscrew, you get a lot of headbanging there, even though it's kind of a fun inversion. And you tend to get a lot of, I don't know, just kind of janky turns. This is a older B&M, so it's not as smooth as some of the new ones. At any other park, I'd usually avoid this probably, but because it's here and all the rides are bad, I tend to ride it when I go. But yeah, again, not a great ride. Number 5, we have Raging Cajun. There's actually nothing wrong with this coaster. One of the rare rides at the park where there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion at least. It's just your basic kind of, I forget the manufacturer, but it's just a spinning coaster. And it's a lot of fun. If you go on it with friends especially, you'll have a great time. But it's not like a big thrilling coaster, so that's why it's a little lower down on the list. It's just not that thrilling, but overall it's a great ride. There's nothing wrong with it except maybe a long queue. But yeah, besides that, amazing ride. Number 4, we have Joker's Jinx. This is a launch coaster. Premier Rides launch coaster. You can also find this ride at Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Kings Island, and Kings Dominion. I have not been to Six Flags Fiesta Texas, so I won't know about that. But I have ridden Flight of Fear at the other 2 parks, and Flight of Fear is so much better because it's an indoor coaster. This being outside, it's just kind of lame. It's cool because like head choppers still, I guess. And the launch is always fun, and those first 3 inversions are great. The last inversion's good also, but there's just a huge gap where it kind of gets boring. You know, at least when you're inside with Flight of Fear, you don't know where you are or what's coming next, and you're like going around in the dark. Here, you can see exactly what's coming, and it's just kind of boring. You know, there's nothing exciting to it really, and unfortunately, that's why it's lower down on this list. You know, it's just not that exciting. I know it's number 4 still, but like in my opinion, compared to like other parks, this still would be at the bottom of their list. So it's okay, it's decent, but it's not great, and like I'm just not thrilled with it. At number 3, we have Batwing. I've actually never rode this, but I decided to include it on the list because I have been on Nighthawk and Firehawk. So yeah, I felt confident that I could give a good opinion on this ride, even though I haven't been on it. It's always broken or something's wrong with it whenever I've been, so I haven't got a chance to go on it. However, based off my experience on the other 2, Vekoma Flying Dutchmans are fun rides. They usually get long waits because maintenance or problems like that. But besides that, it's a fun ride experience. I think Vekoma did a really good job with these models because it's unique because you go from on your back to flying mode, I guess you could call it, and then back on your back again. So yeah, it's a cool experience, and I think it's nice. This is a very unique ride to have at this park. Unfortunately, it's always closed. But I felt like I should rank it higher because overall it is a good ride experience. Anyways, at number 2, we have Superman Ride of Steel. My opinions on this ride change from day to day. On the one hand, it is a hyper coaster, so that's any coaster over 200 feet is usually fun. Especially there's like 5 airtime hills, and like there's 2 large airtime hills and then 3 small airtime hills, and then there's 2 helixes and a bunch of straight track. The helixes do nothing for me. I mean, it's kind of cool, but also no. And the airtime, it's good airtime, but there's just so little of it. Like, I'd take a B&M Hyper any day over this. And that's why it's still number 2, because, there's a lot of bad rides at this park. But I just don't like it still. It's at the bottom of my list on Hypers and barely made it into, like, my top 50 coasters. And finally, at number 1, we have Wild One. Yeah, so this might be a little out there, but I really like Wild One. I love classic wooden coasters. I just love wooden coasters in general for their out of control nature, and I think this is no exception. The helix at the end is a lot of fun. That pulls a lot of crazy laterals for some reason, and also there's a lot of airtime on this ride, which is lacking in the rest of the park. And it's just a crazy old wooden coaster. I think also, like Superman Ride of Steel, I had a crazy rain ride on this, and that just boosted the experience. And yeah, it's a good ride. It's not the best wooden coaster out there for sure, but it's a fun, classic wooden coaster. It's vintage. Six Flags America has done a decent job, at least, at keeping it running well. It's not too rough, but it's rough enough to be enjoyable. And yeah, it's just number 1 at this park. Like I said, I have not a lot of problems, but I don't know how to feel about Superman Ride of Steel. I like Wild One. It is a fun ride, and that's why it's number 1 for me. But anyways, there's not a lot of standout attractions at this park. I wish Six Flags America would work on that. Maybe RMCing Roar. That'd be great because Roar is terrible. But I don't know what they're going to do, especially with the pandemic now. I don't know if Six Flags will be in a position to update Six Flags America anytime soon, unfortunately. But we will see. Anyways, I hope you liked the video. Like and subscribe or comment if you want. I don't know. It's up to you. But anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye.